know that adults don't get enough fibre, and fibre is extremely important as part of our diet. If you are feeling that you are struggling with constipation, bloating, low energy, feeling like you're constantly hungry as well, that could all be signs that you are not having enough fibre in your daily diet. So in today's video, we're going to talk about that and the importance of fibre, what the signs are if you are not getting enough fibre, what fibre actually does for our bodies, and if you feel you are one of those people that are not getting enough fibre in your diet, we're also going to talk about how you can slowly increase your fibre daily so that you are feeling much better within yourself. If you don't know me, my name is Rachel. I am a fitness and wellbeing enthusiast. I'm also a qualified fitness instructor, menopause coach and dance teacher. And on this channel, I share my workouts with you, but I also give you information about health and wellbeing so you can see whether or not you need to work on certain areas of your life to become a much healthier and happier version of you. So rather than keep rambling, let's get into the video of why it's important to have fibre in our diet. So what is fibre? Fibre is actually a carbohydrate that is found in plant foods and that our body can't fully digest. When you think of other carbohydrates, you may think of things like pasta, rice, bread, and those kind of carbohydrates, but fibre carbohydrate can actually pass through your digestive system pretty much intact, where the other carbohydrates are all broken down. There are two main types of fibre. One is soluble fibre and one is insoluble fibre. The soluble fibre is a fibre that actually dissolves in water, kind of like a gel, which when you're having a lot of fibre in your diet, it's important that you also drink a lot of water so that it can digest and pass through your body. So having these kind of fibres, which I'll talk about what foods they are in a moment, but the soluble fibre can actually keep you fuller for longer, lower your cholesterol level, and support your blood sugar levels as well. So these soluble fibre foods are things that you can find in oats, lentils, beans, apples and pears. Those foods are rich in soluble fibre, which is the fibre that we want for our body. But like I said, you've got to ensure that you are drinking plenty of water so that it can form that gel-like substance and be able to pass through your body a lot easier. The insoluble fibre, this actually adds bulk to your stool, which helps your digestive system. Now, the insoluble fibre can include things such as whole grains, brown rice, nuts, seeds and vegetables. Most plant foods contain this insoluble fibre. So those are the two types of fibre that we intake in our bodies. Now, when people think about having an intake of fibre, they automatically think it's going to help your digestive system and it's going to help things move through a little bit easier. But actually, fibre does so much more for your body, which is why it's so important that we intake enough fibre on a daily basis. So first of all, yes, it does support our digestive system. It keeps our digestive system working efficiently and it prevents us from being constipated or bloated. Fibre can help feed our gut bacteria. Now, our gut bacteria is really, really important. It also, our gut and our brain is connected. So if you'd like me to do a whole video on our gut health and how our gut and our brain is connected, we have a healthy gut, we have a healthy mind, let me know in the comments and I'll get that video done for you in the next coming weeks. Now, our gut contains trillions of bacteria, so it's important that we keep it healthy. And fibre acts as a food for our gut bacteria, helping it thrive and support our gut health, which again is extremely important to make us feel good. It also can help control our blood sugar levels. Now, fibre moves through our body quite slowly. It takes a lot longer to digest and move through, which is why you need to take a lot of water in. However, by the fibre moving through our body slowly, it actually keeps us fuller for longer, which maintains a good steady level of our blood sugar. So it's important that we're taking in enough fibre per meal. Having enough fibre in our diet also helps support our heart health. So having enough fibre lower our cholesterol down and it can help prevent heart disease. In the intro, I said that you may be feeling like you're constantly hungry, and one of those symptoms are by not having enough fibre. Fibre actually helps you feel fuller for longer, which then means that you are not reaching in the cupboard for an afternoon or a late night snack because you had enough fibre in your diet to keep you full. So those are some of the reasons of why fibre is such an important part of our daily diet, not just for our digestive system, but for our overall health. And as adults, we are not taking in enough fibre that we should be. So if you are a grown adult, obviously it's different for children, but I'm talking to mainly adults here. It is important that we have around about 30 grams of fibre in our daily diet, but the average that adults are actually having fibre is only 18 grams. So it's important that we make more of a conscious effort to add fibre into our diet. How do you know if you are actually getting enough fibre? Well, your body's going to tell you. Your body will give you signs if you are not getting enough fibre in your diet. So some of these signs include constipation, bloating, low energy. You could have hard or infrequent bowel movements. They might not be going regularly, or when you do go, it could be quite painful. Maybe feeling hungry just after you've eaten. So like maybe you've eaten at 6 o'clock in the evening, but by 7 o'clock you're already hungry again because you've not had enough fibre, because fibre helps you stay fuller for longer. You could also have high cholesterol levels, and you could have blood sugar crashes and low energy like I mentioned before. And it may be difficult for you to maintain a healthy weight. Now, like I said, fibre helps you stay fuller for longer. So if you are not having enough fibre in, you may then feel like you're having more cravings, that you want to snack, which is then going to keep you adding calories to your daily intake, which is why you could find it difficult to maintain a healthy weight. I'm not saying that those symptoms was only because you may have low fibre. There could be many reasons why you have those symptoms as well. So if it is a concern of yours, then I do highly advise you to go and see your local GP so that you can rule out any other medical conditions. But upping your fibre, if you're having less than 30 grams of fibre a day, is always going to benefit you anyway. So if you are having little fibre in your diet, how can you up that fibre intake so you are getting 30 grams of fibre per day? And this doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy some expensive supplement or anything like that. It's just adding extra things into your daily meals that you have on a regular basis, so you're getting that extra fibre intake. So say for breakfast, adding in something like porridge oats or Weetabix, or making overnight oats and adding lots of fruit to it. That's going to up your fibre intake for breakfast. You can eat a lot more fruit and vegetables. Like I just said, adding berries on your breakfast, adding salad to your lunch. So if you have a lunch but there's no vegetables in there whatsoever, adding a small side salad to your lunch will actually help you increase your fibre intake. And having extra vegetables at dinner. Now, most people know, but if you don't know, you should have half your plate as vegetables, a quarter of your plate as protein, and a quarter of your plate as other carbohydrates such as rice and pasta and potatoes and things like that. So if you are not having enough fibre, then add some more vegetables into your meal in the evening. You could even chop these up and add them into, say, a spaghetti bolognese or a chili, but just adding those extra vegetables in so that you are getting that extra intake of fibre. You could also do some simple swaps to make sure that you're getting some whole grain options in. If you have white rice, change to brown rice. If you have white bread, change to wholemeal bread. If you have regular pasta, change to whole wheat pasta, and that will give you an extra bit of fibre into your daily diet. Also add beans and lentils. I mean, a lot of people, if you are not obviously vegan or vegetarian, don't like beans or lentils. I personally love any kind of lentils, chickpeas, cannelloni beans, any beans, I like them. So I have quite a lot of them in my daily diet. But if you don't like them, just on their own or just in a salad, you could add them into vegetable soup, chilies, curries. Or if you do like them, add them into your salads as well. And then therefore you're getting your extra intake of fibre and protein, because they're really good sources of protein too. If you're like me and you are a snacker, I am a big snacker, I love to snack, then just change your snacks. So I'm not saying don't have the treats that you like to have, because I think everything is about balance. It's about enjoying the foods that you enjoy having. I very much believe in an 80-20 diet. 80% of your diet should be whole foods, healthy whole foods, and the other 20% should be the fun foods that you just enjoy, because life is too short not to enjoy the foods that you really like. Even if sometimes they're a little bit bad for you, it doesn't matter if you're not doing it on a daily basis or overloading on those extra goodies. So how can you snack smarter? So you could have more fruit in your diet. You could add vegetables in your diet. So in my fridge, when I come home from shopping and I've got a lot of vegetables, I slice them all up and I put them in a tub in my fridge. And then when I feel like I'm snacking, I just grab a load of vegetables out. And because vegetables are full of fibre, then I'm keeping fuller for longer. So I'm just being smart about the snacks that I'm eating. Also have some nuts and seeds. Now with these ones, I wouldn't overload because they're also very high in calories. So I only have a small palmful of nuts and seeds. Again, lots of fibre in, so will keep you fuller for longer. But if you eat a whole bag of nuts and seeds, actually they're very highly calorific. So I would advise to still have them because they've got so many good health benefits, but I wouldn't overload on them because they do contain a high fat and a high calorie. Other things you could have is air popped popcorn. I make my own popcorn, so I buy popcorn kernels from the supermarket. I put some coconut oil in a big saucepan, put in about a cup full of kernels, put the lid on, turn it down on low heat and just let it pop. And then therefore I've got no extra additives in it. And it's a much healthier version of popcorn, plus it's got a lot of fibre in too. Now this one is a bit of a hit and miss when it comes to increasing your fibre, but actually leaving the skins on some vegetables actually contains a lot more fibre. And not just vegetables, but fruit as well. So if you left the skins on potatoes and apples and even pears, that's where a lot of the fibre is. I personally don't. I do for my son, he doesn't like the skin. But if I'm cooking jacket potato, I always leave the skin on my potato and I eat it because it's full of fibre. So if you don't mind having skin on apples, pears and potatoes and other things like that, then have it with the skin on. Eat the skin if you can as well, because that is where all the fibre is. If you need to increase your fibre intake, I would do it slowly and gradually. I try and measure and just track how much you are having on a daily basis, just to get a basic idea of how much you're actually taking in, so you can actually see how much you are having on your daily intake of fibre, because it's hard to increase it where you don't know where you start. So track a day's worth to see how much fibre you're taking in. Once you've realised how much you're taking in, then you can start increasing. Now, I've done this before when I wasn't taking enough fibre, and I went from where I was and I jumped to 30 grams of fibre every single day, and I felt extremely uncomfortable for a good few days afterwards because my body wasn't used to it. So my advice to you from experience is to just slowly increase it week by week. So if you are only getting 18 grams of fibre in, then over the next week try and get 20 grams of fibre in, and then up it slowly until you're at that 30 grams. That way your body is able to adjust to it without you feeling cranky, bloated, constipated and just generally uncomfortable. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it's very important that you are taking in lots of water when you're increasing your fibre intake. Water, like I said before, actually helps fibre turn into a gel-like substance, which helps it move through your body a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. So ensure that when you are upping your fibre intake, that you're also upping your water intake as well, so it can do its job inside your body and make you a healthier version of you. We hear all the time of up your protein, make sure you're getting 30 grams of protein per meal. It's all about the protein, but fibre is just as important. It might not be as exciting or as delicious, because with protein you can have chicken and yogurt and eggs. There's a lot more things you can do with it. And fibre may seem a little bit boring. It's important that we intake enough fibre in our daily diet so that our bodies can work correctly. Fibre keeps us fuller for longer. It helps our gut health, it helps our heart health, it helps with our digestion, and it can balance out our blood sugar levels. So all of it is just as important as taking in enough protein. If you're not taking in enough fibre, then make sure you're adding it very slowly and gradually, and making sure that you're drinking plenty of water as well. It will be a little process for you. You don't have to jump from one point to another. Just take it at your own pace and add it in. And if one day you don't get 30 grams of fibre in your body, then that's okay. It's just one day. Just make sure the next day you're still getting that 30 grams. Don't try and up it or try and recalculate it because, oh, I was down 10 grams, I must get 40 grams of fibre in my diet today. No, just stick with your 30 grams every single day and your body will adjust. Your body is an amazing machine and it can do wonders for you. So just give it 30 grams of fibre every single day and do it gradually if you're not there already, and eventually you will feel much better within yourself. And trust me, your gut will thank you for it. By adding in extra fibre to help your gut, your whole body will thank you for it. Let me know in the comment box below whether you think you are taking in enough fibre or not, and what your plans are to start upping your fibre intake if you need to increase it. Let me know in the comment box below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the future videos from me. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.